Salvation for this sin is the gospel. The only way to really cure that what's on the inside is understanding that Jesus Christ died for our sins. And so to me, on a micro level, it's understanding.
Oh, and just like that, we lost him. I know.
I'm going to read about being introspective. The first one is, I'm introspective because sometimes I want to take our side without looking at the facts in situations like these. Sometimes I feel like it's us against them. Sometimes I'm just as prejudiced as people I point fingers at. And that's not right. How can I look at white skin and make assumptions but not want assumptions made about me? That's not right. I'll go down and the second paragraph that I think kind of struck a chord with me was the last paragraph of the piece, and it's kind of how I closed it up, kind of on a positive note, because after thinking about all these emotions and going through them, I'm encouraged because of this. I'm encouraged because ultimately the problem is not a skin problem, it's a sin problem. Sin is the reason we rebel against authority. Sin is the reason we abuse our authority. Sin is the reason we are racist, prejudiced, and lie to cover for our own. Sin is the reason we riot, we loot, and we burn. But I'm encouraged because God has provided a solution for sin through his son, Jesus. And with it, a transformed mind and heart. One that's capable of looking past the outward and seeing what's truly important in every human being. The cure for Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and Eric Garner tragedy is not education or exposure. It's the gospel. So finally, I'm encouraged because the gospel gives mankind hope.
I think one part that really resonates with you know, a lot of America is the I'm sympathetic section, right? Where you talk about I am sympathetic to the officer, I am sympathetic to Michael Brown, and so much of America is really perceiving the story. It's divided along racial lines. I talked to LZ Granderson on the show yesterday, and he said his biggest frustration, he was in Ferguson, he saw it all, and he said neither side is sympathetic to the other. That's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a natural reaction. I think that's why I started off by saying that I'm angry. It's okay to be angry and to identify your emotion as being angry. Because like I said later, we like to protect our own. And because of our life experiences, whether it is being a black American or a white American, because of stories that you've heard over time, because of injustices that have happened, because of maybe being accused of something you didn't do, or maybe being accused of being racist when you're not, we have these certain histories and we react because of those. And so, you know, anger is okay, but when you get past that first level of emotion, it's important to understand, why are you angry? And then take a step further. Am I any different than anyone else if I was in their situation? I think the sympathetic part, you know, I've had a lot of teammates come up to me and actually read it, which that really warms my heart, because for them to actually come and say that they enjoyed the piece. But I think it was what a lot of people were thinking, but didn't quite know how to express it. And for whatever reason, God gave me the words to put on paper, and it kind of resonated with a lot of people. But I think it's really important that we take a step back sometimes and think about the other side before we make accusations and assumptions.